What's up, guys? This is Rich from Curious Rich, and we're gonna ask some questions today about the presidential election. Let's go. So, first of all, Trump or Hillary?
Hillary, because she's a lesser of two evils. I think it'd be cool to have a woman president, honestly.
Oh, definitely Hilary.
Why?
Oh, just Illuminati.
I've heard the bad things of what Hillary's done. I've heard that she's stole some oil from other countries and that she just killed certain people.
What do you think about the presidential election?
I think it's rigged. I think Hillary's going to win for sure. And I think there's 0% chance Trump could win. I think it's all set up, to be honest with you. I think Hillary was already supposed to win. There's 0% chance Trump could win. I mean, I personally want Trump. I think he's better for the country because the country needs to be ran like a business because that's what it is.
So why do you think Hillary got so much support?
That she's a woman.
I think it'd be cool to have a woman president, honestly.
People like new blood. Obama, because he was black. And then, I don't mean it like that, but I mean, think about it. There was a lot of people out there that just were like, oh yeah, he's black, I'm going to vote for him.
Sure,
I have plenty of people that said that to me. They're not thinking. They don't want to go in depth. Why would they do that? I promise you, 100% Clinton will win.
It just doesn't make an impact as an individual for me.
Trump or Hillary?
Guess Hillary at this point. In order to run this country, you need to be connected. The Clinton line is connected. And in order to be president, you have to make deals. And you have to know a lot of people. And they've already been in there.
So, okay, what do you think about the presidential election as a whole then?
It's just rigged. It's just based off families and just I don't know. It's all predestined and they all know. The ballots are just rigged. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it. For the sake of this country, don't let Trump win. That's all I'm saying. Just for the sake of this country, do not let him win. But if you had to choose, then choose Hillary. Just don't choose Trump.
Trump, because he's a G.
Because he's a G?
Yep.
What's a G?
A gangster.
Well, it's a choice between two evils, and we have to find the lesser one, I guess. I think Clinton has to be Clinton, because I think we just can't afford to gamble on Trump. He's just crazy. I think that you vote by state here makes no sense. That was great when you actually had to put some guys on horses to ride to Washington to bring the news of what their people want. But today, why don't we have a popular vote? So that, in Washington is a democratic state. You can vote for anyone here and it'll still be Clinton coming out. That's not right, I don't think. So I think people should concentrate on changing the election system in the US. I think that would be good, but that's very hard to do. And I know, and I think the sad thing is I like the Republican free market thing and so much more. But I mean, you don't believe in climate change? Can you vote for someone who does not?
What do you think about this year's presidential election?
I don't like walls. Everyone, this whole election sucks.
Okay, so why does it suck so bad?
Because there's walls.
For me, it's Trump, because he's a businessman. I'm supportive of someone who's going to make decisions based off of what's going to move the economy's businesses forward. Because again, this country was built on small businesses. I'd rather have somebody that speaks out and is willing to be disagreed with than have somebody that the entire time you never really know where their opinion's at. Make decisions based off of what your kid's future wants to look like, rather than what the opinions and the emotions built up by social media.
Trump or Hillary?
Dude, nah. I can't.
What do you think about this year's presidential election?
Well, it's kind of just a massive cluster. People are more attached to feelings than they are facts, more than ever. And fear is being played off of in a way it has been many other times in history, but not recently in a presidential election. So it's scary. Fear is not something that anyone should ever make a decision off of, but it's a very easy tool to control people. Trump and other Republican candidates will really just attach fear to anything. They'll create a problem, which is they'll say that there's something wrong with the economy, or they'll say that there's a problem with domestic terrorism, and then blame it on a group of people. And it could be anyone. It's been Muslims, it's been Mexican immigrants, it's been immigrants of all kinds. At first I was a Bernie supporter. Then when he dropped out of the race and endorsed her, it was just an obvious transition. I wasn't thrilled about her as a candidate, but I know she'll be a great president. She was Secretary of State. She has a lot of international policy experience. I trust her on that level, but I don't think it's wise to not vote for her at this point, just because we've exhausted all options.
Is there anything that pissed you off or has surprised you about this election?
The fact that Donald Trump can say the things he does and people just accept it. Like, so many other candidates have been like completely blacklisted from politics for saying the things that they do, that is similar to what Donald Trump has said, but he still just gets to say these things. Like, he can say these terrible things about groups of people. All he needs to do is create an enemy, and if he makes that enemy the Democratic Party entirely, then he'll have constituents that support him no matter what. And he's basically just created this fear-fueled army that he can say anything to and they'll still support him. It's very scary. Don't decide based on fear.
That's
and
it?
don't vote for Donald Trump. That's just kind of obvious at this point.
And so then why Hillary?
I mean, I'm with most of Americans in that I'm just choosing the person that I dislike the least. That's what most people are at, I think, right now, is just who do you dislike the least?
Always lesser of two evils. Always. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna wrap that up for today. But let's see some of the things that we've learned. I think the interesting thing here is that most people, when they believe something, like when they support someone, it's mostly off general things. Meaning, it's like this: I don't like Trump because he said some racial things. I don't like Hillary because she lied. Or I like Trump because he's a good businessman. Or I like Hillary because of her experience. So it just shows like we really form blanket perceptions over people based on one or two bits of specific information that's given by the media. It's just the way the world is right now. Cool.
Trump, because Hillary goes like this, Trump goes like this.
They're both kind of annoying.
Yeah, Trump just has the high ratings right now on WWE. And he's always carrying those two A's just like,
Brother,
yeah.
pigeon.